Hi there, this is a video for the AMS Middle School 6th grade band members. We're going to talk about how to read pitches on a musical staff. With our musical staff we have 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in between those lines we have 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have to understand the way notes go up and down the staff are according to line, space, line, space. So if we start with a note here on this 3rd line, if it's located on that line, the next note up will be in a space. The next note from there will be on a line, and then a space, line, space. So we have 3rd line, 3rd space, 4th line, 4th space, 5th line, and now we've run out of lines. We're going to say that this note is above the 5th line. And then once we've run out of those lines, we need to add extra lines for extra high notes, and those are called ledger lines. So what I'm going to do is add a short extra line called a ledger line, and I can locate the next note up on that line. I can go 1 note higher by putting a note above that line. And then to go higher, we just keep adding more ledger lines. So I can add 2 ledger lines for the next note. And above the 2nd ledger line for that note. We can keep going on and on. The same way going down. To go lower, I can go, if this note is on a line, the next note down will be on a space. Then line, space, line. Then I can go below the 1st line. And now's where we need to start adding ledger lines for the low notes. And to keep going, I can add a 2nd ledger line. And that's how this works. Now, to assign actual notes or pitches to these different lines and spaces, we use what's called the musical alphabet. The musical alphabet goes A through G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Once we get to G, we start back over with A B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay? And it just goes according to the same line, space progression. So, now this isn't going to be true of either of the clefs that we typically work with, but let's say that this note is A. Let's just pretend that this note is A. The next note up would be B. Next note up would be C, D, E, F, G, and then once we get to G, we have to start back over with A. Same way going down, except we have to go musical alphabet in reverse. If this is G, then we have to swing back around to the end of the musical alphabet and make this G. If this is A, then we have to go G, then F, E, D, C, B, A, G. Remember, these are just pretend, based on kind of a made-up situation. Let's talk about the actual clefs that we use. And most of this in the 6th grade band are going to use this clef. And what we're taught is that this is called the treble clef. The difficulty with that is we don't necessarily learn anything by calling it the treble clef unless we already know what those notes are. So what I want to say is we're going to call this the G clef. Okay? And the reason is it shows us where G is. This symbol wraps around this 2nd line of the staff, which is where G is in the treble clef. So if we call this the G clef, it will tell us where G is located. And it's located right here. From this we can tell any other note on the musical staff. So we can go G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, add a ledger line, and we've got A. To go down, we go G, F, E, D, C, B, A, and then we're back to another G. Okay, so if we call this the G clef, it shows us that G is here on the 2nd line, and we can figure out any other note based on that. Now let's talk about the clef that our lower instruments use. And this, as we know, is traditionally taught as being the bass clef. Again, that doesn't necessarily give us any useful information, but if we look at where this note this clef highlights things, we have a big dot on this line surrounded by 2 little dots. So this 4th line of the staff, we're going to call this the F clef because this is where F is on the 4th line of the staff, or the bass clef. Okay, we're going to call this the F clef, and from that we can figure out any other note. We have F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and we can go on and on. To go down, we'll go backwards in the musical alphabet. F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, and so on. So that's a quick introduction into how we can read and figure out any note on the musical staffs, okay? Using this as our F clef, and this as the G clef. This tells us where G is, this tells us where F is, okay? And then we just go line space, up the musical alphabet from there. Thanks for watching.